Are umlauts important? I hear this question a lot from non native German speakers, especially if your first language is English, which has zero umlauts. And I'm here to tell you that you should be treating letters with umlauts over them like a new letter to the alphabet. And here's why. So, there are three ways that umlauts fundamentally change the fabric of what you're saying. And it's really important to keep these in mind when you're speaking German and learning German so you can remember those umlauts correctly and keep yourself out of trouble. The first way that the umlaut changes what you're saying is it changes the word altogether. So if you just throw an umlaut on the O or the U, which by the way, that only the A, the O, or the U can have an umlaut in German. It cannot be on the I, and it cannot be on the E. So if you just throw an umlaut on the A, the O, the U that are already in a word, then it's going to be a completely different word, or someone's going to look at that word and say, "This does not exist." And you don't want someone thinking that when you're speaking to them, let me tell you. Here are a few words where that will happen to you. The first one is sagen. You have sagen,
I think we should cut that one down, though.
or with an umlaut, sagen. Completely different. Another one that is really common is schon.
Edgart. And schon. Schon.
Schon, or throw the umlaut on, schön.
Edgart. And schön.
Another thing to keep in mind, I have never seen a German word where you have two umlauted letters next to each other. So that's not going to happen. And if you do end up with that when you're writing something down, you did something wrong. So just saying. So the second way that an umlaut fundamentally changes what you're saying is that it can separate verb conjugations in some cases, especially with these modal verbs that use the umlaut or have the umlaut added later. One example of that would be müssen, which has the umlaut. So if you had like müsst, for example, and you're talking in the present tense, that would be ihr müsst. Ihr müsst.
Das Zimmer ist voll chaotisch. Ihr müsst aufräumen. Ja, du hast recht.
If you had musst, you just remove the umlaut. That would be du musst. Du musst.
Das Zimmer ist voll chaotisch. Du musst aufräumen. Ja, du hast recht.
So you can't say du musst. That's just really weird. It looks like you don't know your grammar. Also can't say ihr müsst. So that's one way. So the third way that an umlaut fundamentally changes what you're saying is that it separates the past tense from the theoretical. So if you said, for example, ich musste, that would be in the past, but it definitely happened. You definitely had to do something in the past. If you just throw an umlaut on there, ich müsste, then that would be more theoretical, more indirect. It would mean like, I would maybe. I would have to do that, but you don't necessarily have to do it, and we're not sure it actually happened. It's very theoretical. That's a huge difference with just one umlaut.
Carlie, könntest du bitte das Geschirr spülen? Ja, natürlich. Carlie, konntest du das Geschirr spülen oder war es eine Katastrophe? Ja, natürlich. Oh, ich bin erleichtert. Super.
Same with like ich hatte, past tense, you definitely had it. Ich hätte, you theoretically might have had it or could have had it, but we're not sure. And it's because of that umlaut that we're not sure. So the third way, no. So the fourth way, which I didn't say at the beginning that there were four, but there are four. The fourth way that an umlaut can change things is it can be part of the conjugation of an irregular verb, which I just went over. We're good. So that is the impact of the umlaut. You don't want to mess with those umlauts. If you are memorizing words, memorizing grammar, treat that umlaut like it is a new letter. O umlaut, that is not an O. That is a brand new letter in your brain. A umlaut, brand new letter. U umlaut, brand new letter. Not even related to A, O, or U at all. And if you have noticed other ways that umlauts change the meanings in German, comment below. I'd be interested to see what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!